Hello and welcome to another episode of Monticello Minute Unscripted. We're coming to you as always from the Advance Printing Company studios, right off the square in beautiful downtown Monticello. We're excited. Matter of fact, you could say we've got chills and they're multiplying because we have our friend of the show back with us, Kathy Line, to talk about the upcoming production of Grease by SEARK Cancert Association. Welcome back to the show, Kathy.
Thank you. You are so kind.
If you would tell our viewers, because I know they're excited to hear about it, tell us about Grease. I know y'all been working so hard to get this production ready.
We have in record time, let me say, due to the ice and snow that kind of put us back a little bit. But you would never know it because we are electrified and ready to flip your lid.
I love it. I love it.
We are ready because we have such a fantastic group of performers. I mean, we are so blessed. I mean, the one behind the camera over there is one of them. She's Rizzo.
I know. Our very own Ashley Hogg. I'm going to say it.
Right.
And that's a great point because everything is so professionally done.
It
And
is.
a lot of times people forget these are just folks from our town. They're our friends, our neighbors, people from right here that are going up there night in and night out to put the work in, to practice, to get their roles down. And these are musicals.
Yes.
So these folks are having to sing. So they do all this to where when it's time to say lights, camera, action, and the crowd is out there and everybody's watching, it goes off seamlessly.
It does, and thank you for summing that up because that's basically absolutely accurate. Lots of hard work, lots of hours. Every Saturday since we were able to get back into the Fine Arts Center after the ice and snow, we've been at UAM all the weeknights, everything. It's just amazing how dedicated all of the players are. Very hard workers, and it shows. I mean, such a polished rendition of this Grease, and they have brought their personalities and they have studied their part. They are an easy cast to direct, let me just say that. And then we've got a huge group of dancers that are, and of course all of these people that are main characters are also doing a lot of dancing.
That's right.
But we've got,
move.
you know, the background chorus and Rydell High School and cheerleaders, and you know, we've got all of that, and they're all dancing their little feet off. It's really fantastic, and
you know, we talk about the actors, we talk about the people in the spotlight, but there's so many more people that are to be thanked. And first of all, the people that build the awesome stages.
Thank you.
And all the props. Because when you go to a production of SEARK Cancert Association, you're taken to another place. You're put in another place. You don't even think you're sitting in the Fine Arts Center.
Thank you.
Because of all the elaborate detail that is given to the set and the props and everything.
And let me just give a shout out to who does that. That is Liz Burnett and Amanda Gilbert. They are in charge of all of the set designs, and they have worked tirelessly. I mean, they have sought out so many things to make this so believable. And then the person that helps them with props and gathers up all these things from hither and yon is Julie Smith. That's Tommy Smith's wife. There's two Tommy Smiths here in Monticello. But anyway, this is Julie Smith that she does that, and she's excellent.
And then the choreography. You know, the actors do a fantastic job, but they're not just up there winging it. They're being coached.
They are.
You know, and we've got some great people who've worked with SEARK Cancert Association from the beginning that help with the choreography.
Yes, and that is Delene Stevenson. She is my choreographer every year because she works so well with large groups and produces so much in such a short period of time. And she is, many people don't realize it until they see her out there, but at one time she was a dance instructor and had her own studio. So we are very, very pleased to have her because she's such an asset. And then, of course, it's produced by SEARK Cancert Association, and the chairperson of that committee for this particular production is Michelle Roberts.
Yes, of course.
And they have lots of people on that board that assist her, but she is the leader on
she is
behalf
such a
of the
joy
board.
to
Yes,
be
she
around.
is.
I'm sure she's
She
a joy to work
is.
with as well.
Yes, she's very thorough. Tickets are available at SEARK Cancert Association.org. And they just get on that and follow the prompts and purchase their tickets there.
Perfect.
And I believe that it'll show them the auditorium and seats that are still available, and they can purchase those like that.
I can tell you that it's real easy to use. The website's super easy. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's going to be fantastic. And let me tell you the show times. Of course, we start out Monday and Wednesday. We have 3 matinees on each one of those days, and those are free matinees to the surrounding schools that service the 7 counties. And they'll be bussed in, and it'll be lots of excitement. And the benefit is not only are you making lifelong lovers of theater with those students, but you are giving our cast time to polish and perfect and get every little bug that might be in the sound or the lighting or whatever. That's all worked out in those 3 days, or those 3 performances on those 2 days. And then on Tuesday night, in between those 2 matinees, we have a premiere, and I want to plug that just a minute. That is a $50 ticket this year instead of a $100 ticket that it's been.
Half price.
So, and the reason for that is this is the 50th anniversary for SEARK Concert.
Well, I did not
so
know
we're
that.
doing Grease,
Awesome.
which, 50s.
Awesome.
And then we have reduced the price for that premiere night to $50.
And what night is that?
That is Tuesday night.
Okay.
And here's something different, so you want to be very aware. It starts at 6 p.m., the show. That's the only one that starts at 6 p.m. And that's because there's going to be a big reception for the full cast and all attendees in the gallery after the show.
All the rest of the evening show start at 7.
Thank you. And so on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the shows start at 7, and then we have a matinee on that Saturday that starts at 2.
Perfect.
And these are all ticketed performances. You have to have a ticket to get in. Okay.
A lot of great opportunities to see this performance. If somebody can't get a ticket online, are there tickets at the door or anything like that?
You can call. You can call out the Fine Arts. I'm sure that they'll direct you and help you. Okay. But I do think that the online,
it's easy.
It's going to be there.
I always just like to cover all the bases.
And then your tickets will be in will call. Where you pick up your tickets. They're just there. It's very easy.
Well, this is a great time of the year. Now we're talking about this coming week, folks. All right,
Yes,
no time to delay. We're talking about the first week of March.
Yes.
So get your tickets. Get ready to go experience something you'll never forget. Something that takes you back in time to one of the greatest stories I've ever heard, the story of Grease.
Yes. It's so electrifying.
It's electrifying. That's it. You'll be singing and dancing when you leave the auditorium, I promise.
With a smile on your face.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Well, thank you for coming in, Kathy.
Thank you
We're all
so
excited. We
much.
look forward to it.
Precious. Yeah.
We're going to be back with some performers, some actors and actresses from the upcoming Grease performance. So stick around. And we are back, and man, are we excited because we've got 2 of the actors from the upcoming SEARK Cancert Association production of Grease right here in the studio. Welcome in, guys.
Hi,
thanks for having us.
Now, what we have here today is Mr. Jeff Newton and Sarah Davis. Now, if y'all would kind of tell our audience what characters you're going to be playing.
I'll go first. Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm playing Kaniki. He is kind of your local bad boy type. Has a really strong bromance with his best bud, Danny Zuko. Shout out to him. And I'm a great supporting actor for him. And I get to hang out with this lovely lady and another lovely lady pretty much the whole time. And
wow, sounds like a dream come true.
Yeah, for sure. Living the dream, man.
Now, Jeff, you're a seasoned veteran because I've seen you on that stage multiple times. How many different SEARK Cancert Association productions does this make for you?
I think this will be my 7th year, maybe. I think
7th year.
Started out as Aladdin, and I simply walked in with my son, and because he was going to try out, and they wanted me to try out, and bam, there I was Aladdin. So, and I've been hooked ever since. So,
Well, I can tell you, if there's anybody that I know personally that was made for the stage, it's Jeff Newton. He is not scared a bit. You would think he was born into it when he gets up there on that stage. So you'll definitely look for Jeff character as Kaniki to really stand out in the performance coming up next week. Now, Sarah, unlike Jeff, you're new to the game. This is your first time on the SEARK Cancert Association
I'm
stage.
very green. Yeah, I am. So, really excited though. I mean, it's been really fun. It's been a lot of work, but the last 2 years I've helped backstage.
Okay.
My daughter was Molly and Annie last year, and
Gotcha.
just getting to experience all the backstage atmosphere and seeing the cast and the crew and how they interacted together and how much fun it was. It just kind of made me want to give it a go this year.
So you're not brand new to show business. You've been behind the scenes for
I
2
have been
years
behind
now.
the scenes,
This
but
is
first
just
time
your
on
first
stage.
time on stage with the bright light shining on you.
Exactly.
Of course, we had Kathy in here earlier, and we were talking about how much it takes to put one of these on and how many people have to work together to make it happen. And we covered a lot of things. So as people who are actually on the stage, reading the lines, singing the songs, doing the dances, and I mean, tell us a little bit about what makes it so special for you. Jeff, tell me a little about your personal experience just through the years.
I think, when you're sitting out there in the audience, you don't realize how much is actually going on literally all around you and beneath you. So big shout out to the parents who are keeping the crowd control for all the little ones underneath you and around you, because they're the real heroes for sure. And like you said, there just takes so many people to make all the moving parts work together, anywhere from our director, Miss Kathy, all the way down to somebody doing mics. Shout out to those guys. They do a wonderful job with that. The set ladies, there's people been painting for weeks up there.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they look incredible.
Yes.
Oh, I'm always impressed
Yeah, it's
with
amazing
how well it
how they
is,
can
yeah.
transform it.
And just how, all of the people that are involved in this, you see them every day out in your community. And to see them all come together for events like this is just something really special. So,
a lot of hard work, I'll say that just from talking to people that are in the production, and just like Kathy said, having a setback with this ice storm where you couldn't get into the auditorium and work made it even a little bit more stressful. So it really amazes me knowing how much work and how much stress has been going on weeks leading up, that when these folks get on the stage, you don't see it. You would think it never existed. And as I said before, they take you to a place. You're not just sitting in an auditorium watching something on a screen like you would at a movie theater or on TV. They bring you in and actually take you back to the 1950s in Greece. And I promise you, when they get through singing and dancing, you'll be ready to start singing and dancing. Now, Jeff talked about a lot of experience. Tell us, just these last few weeks, what's really stuck out to you as far as what you've taken from all this?
Oh my gosh, just the preparation involved in, like you said, learning the lines, learning the music. A big challenge has been singing and dancing at the same time.
Exactly.
It's a lot of cardio and a lot
It's easy to do in your living room and your shower.
That's
but when you
right,
get out on
yeah.
stage, it's a lot more difficult.
100%. But I mean, I'm so thankful to, especially to be with Jeff and Clay and Jessica and all the other cast members that have done this before. They've been so instrumental in just, giving positive feedback, and Miss Kathy especially. I mean, they're just so good to do it in such a nice, positive way, things that you may want to change or,
Exactly.
improve upon. So I'm just thankful that they've, been so supportive.
Well, support's what it takes, and we're excited. Like I said, I can't say that enough. We're looking forward to the production and looking forward to seeing y'all in your outfits, on stage, in your element. We'll be right back
Appreciate it.
with
Thank you so
with a
much.
couple more actors. We're back with another set of actors from the upcoming SEARK Cancert Association production of Grease. Here with us now, Jessica Pettigrew and Clay Young. Now, they're playing two different roles from the last two actors we had in. They're playing Sandy and Danny. Can you tell us a little bit about what it takes to get into that character? To be, because I mean, I watched Grease, grew up watching it. A lot of people I know did, and those are huge characters. John Travolta, I mean, he's a legend, and you feel like you got to kind of get in those shoes, maybe. Olivia Newton-John, same thing. So, did you watch other performances to gauge off that, to kind of get your moves, or did you just say, you know what, I'm fixing to make this character my own? Tell me what kind of goes into that.
Well, you know, for me, yes, I watched Grease. I watched even some Saturday Night Fever. Whenever Grease first came out, I went and found my old albums that I have, put them on. And, you know, for me, Danny is a showman, you know, and that's something that I struggle with. I think my friends would say I'm a real quiet guy usually, right? No, Danny's awesome. Danny is basically, for me, kind of like Elvis. And the thing that people don't realize about Danny is he's got a good heart, you know, but he wants to try to impress everybody. And I think you have to find that in that character. And I think we all grow up wanting to impress people and at the same time keep that person that lives inside of us. But the entertainer part for Danny was just, that was it. That was my golden ticket I wanted to punch. Yeah.
And what did you think about playing Sandy?
Well, I was surprised to get the role, but very honored. As far as preparing for it, you asked if we watched other performances. I did, you know, look at performances, and I just looked at the script myself, and I feel like I can relate with Sandy a lot because she's real quiet and shy and doesn't always feel like she fits in, and I can relate with that a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can put myself in her shoes.
And you know, y'all were cast. You know, I guess when you showed up for the audition, you wasn't sure what role you were going to play. You just wanted to be part of the show, and I guess you read some parts, and the casting crew looked at you and they said, I think Jessica would be great for Sandy, or I think Clay would be great for Danny. And they said, what would you think about playing that? And you're like, let's do it. Is that kind of how it went?
That's kind of how it went. I didn't expect Sandy, but I'm open for whatever. And actually, Miss Kathy asked me if I'd dye my hair because I'm a natural brunette. I haven't dyed my hair in probably 16 years or something like that. So, well,
that just goes to show the commitment that these actors and actresses are putting in for these parts, willing to do whatever it takes. Because when it's time for the show must go on. They're going to go out there and they're going to give it everything they got. And not just one performance. It's like Kathy said before, we're talking about a week full of multiple performances that they got to go out there and they got to give everything they got. Have either one of y'all been in a SEARK Cancert Association production before? I
actually was in Lion King. I was the adult Simba in Lion King. And my fever for this all started whenever I moved back to Monticello and I got to see The Wizard of Oz put on. And I sat there and watched it and said, man, this will be fantastic to be a part of. And then some of my friends mentioned it to me. Yvonne Shelton said, you need to go out and do this. And so my first part was, I was kind of thinking I'd be line number 3. But it was adult Simba for me. And I showed up to audition and I asked, they said, do you have any questions about this? And I said, yeah, in the play, he's just wearing pants. Am I going to have my shirt off? And they said, if you're comfortable. And so I took my shirt off for my audition. I said, I'm comfortable for this. So, and that has stuck with me every year since then.
And that's great story.
That's how committed I was to the audition.
That's a great story and great point. If you're not comfortable up there, you can't give the performance that you want to give.
No.
And I've talked to several people that have been part of these productions, and that's what they talk about, is how easy everyone is to work with and how you become such a close-knit group. Is this your first performance in a SEARK Cancert Association?
This is, I think, my third. I started out also as a parent of a performer. My daughter, who's now 14, auditioned for The Little Mermaid a few years ago, and she played Flounder. And I remember at auditions, I was thinking, kind of really want to audition, but I was kind of scared to just put myself out there.
She was having all the fun. You was like,
right. So I was just a supportive parent that year, and then the next year when they did Peter Pan Jr., I decided to audition. So I've done Peter Pan and Annie, and now this one.
Well, the last thing I'll say before we let y'all go is I can't stress enough that these are musicals. So singing, it's not just learning the lines. It's not just taking the role. It's not just playing the part. You've got to get up there and sing in front of people. That, to me, is just one of the most crazy parts of it. And it really takes a lot of, I don't know, gumption. I don't know what to get up there and say, you know what, I'm going to sing, because I'll sing, but I don't sing in public. So how nervous have you been? Do the nerves kind of start falling away as you practice and as you get the hang of it? You've been at this now for over a month.
For me, the most nervous I am is in the audition itself.
Really?
Yes, and then by the time you've performed it, it's like you've done it so many times, it's just second nature by then.
Awesome,
So.
awesome.
I think the neat part about this whole process is every actor, actress involved has a different background. Some are coming from medical, some are coming from teachers, some are coming from different, places in their work. So they have all the stress there.
That's
and
right.
for me, this is a release point. So as far
Great
as nerves
point.
go, man, I'm just having fun. And I think for the most part, everybody's having fun.
Well, I think that's the line we need to remember. Let's have fun. They're having fun up there on the stage. Go to the show, get your tickets, and have fun. That's what this is all about. Thank y'all guys for coming on. I'm
Thank
looking
you.
forward to
Thanks
seeing
so
you
much.
at the big production.
Thank you.
We're here today with Miss Jaime Harvey. Welcome to the show, Jaime.
Thank you.
Now,
Thanks for having me.
Jaime is with Mainline Health. Now, Mainline Health has a huge presence in Southeast Arkansas. A lot of different clinics, a lot of different offices. They offer a lot of different services. Jaime, before we get into Mainline, can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and what brought you into this journey of joining Mainline?
Sure. I'm Jaime Harvey. I'm the Director of Behavioral Health at Mainline, like you mentioned. But other than that, I am a wife. My husband, John Harvey, and I have been in Monticello since 2010 now.
Yep, I remember that day.
So it's been a while.
It has.
We didn't necessarily think we were going to be here that long, but we've planted ourselves here and our two boys, Brooks and Brock. And we've really enjoyed Monticello and just the community.
And we hear that so often. Part of Monticello Minute Unscripted is to talk about so many great things and great people that are in Monticello and Drew County. And so many people that came to Monticello and just fell in love with it and wanted to stay and wanted to raise their families here and make their careers here. And you and John are definitely a great example of that.
Oh, yes. We fell in love for sure.
And of course, I've known you for a long time. We've been friends. And I know you've got such a passion for health, especially mental health.
That's right.
And Mainline, a variety of services, medical and mental,
Yes.
to where you can help people in so many different ways. And you and I talked about this before the camera started rolling. And we talked about how so many people out there don't understand how easy it is to get help now and
Right.
what services are available. And Mainline goes above and beyond to put that out there and to work with people and say, you know what, there's no stigma. If you're having mental health problems, if you're not feeling right, there's people you can talk to. There's help out there, and you're the behavioral health. You're over that, so I know you are the best person to have on this show today to kind of give us what services are offered and how people can find those services. Sure. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Actually, that's one of the biggest parts of my job is making sure that people in our community and our surrounding areas, because you're right, Mainline has a pretty vast, expansive service area, which is wonderful, and make sure that everybody in those service areas have access to quality, affordable, accessible mental health care, because since COVID, I guess we've been in a mental crisis for a while, but, it really became evident during COVID and after, the aftermath of that. And so having access to that care is very important. And so nobody should have to struggle alone. And so we want people to know that they can come into our clinics and get care.
And what you said is right on the point. So many times the main problem that causes so many mental health issues is isolation.
Absolutely.
And you talked about COVID and how it isolated a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And even today, people are still find themselves isolated. And having a support group, having a network is so important to bring people out of that.
Absolutely.
Give us some more in detail as into the services that Mainline offers as far as mental health.
Sure.
Y'all have...
Well, the biggest thing that we offer is our outpatient behavioral health program, and so that's what that looks like generally is just individualized therapy. So you can come into one of our clinics. Nobody has to know that you're there for mental health. You can come in, park in the parking lot. Nobody knows if you're seeing your medical provider, potentially your dentist. If you're here in Monticello, the women's clinic is also there as well. You go into the waiting room, they don't know that that's what you're there for.
And you bring that up because I think that keeps a lot of people away from, because they think people are going to see me, they're going to judge me, they're going to talk about me. You know, they're going to say, he's up here seeing somebody about, you know, his mental health, and people can be ashamed of that, but there is no shame.
No.
Mainline, the way it's set up and the way everything is put together in the same area, you don't have to worry about that stigma. You don't have to worry about anybody knowing your business, I guess, as they say.
That's right, and I say that because it has come up several times.
I can see that
in therapy before. I've had clients that love coming to therapy. Once they come in and they get going and they know what it's really about, they really enjoy it. But they still say, I don't want so and so to see my truck here, my car here, or whatever. So
it's a personal experience when you're dealing with your health, any kind of health.
That's right.
You know, and we've talked about on this show before when we've talked about mental health. People need to understand that your mental health affects your physical health.
Absolutely.
They are so tightly together. A lot of people think, well, it's just in my head, I'll get over it. But what's going on in your head is affecting everything else in your body.
Absolutely.
And as a professional, obviously, you understand that, and the staff that you have understands that.
Yes.
And when someone comes in and they're wanting to talk about their mental health, you're able to listen to them first, I guess, and talk them through it. And what you talked about with me earlier about Mainline is you've got not only a mental health avenue, but you've got the physical health avenue too. So you can focus on both things.
Right.
Somebody's total health.
Yes, we try to be real collaborative. We have our primary care providers that are on staff as well. You do not have to, your primary care provider does not have to be a Mainline provider in order to see our mental health services. I think that is important to note.
It is, yeah.
But if they are, and you need a change in medicine, maybe the medicine is causing some mood changes or something like that, we can talk right there with the provider same day, and so that is an advantage as well. But even outside providers, we still try to communicate, and we have good rapport with them as well. We try to keep those communication lines open because you're right, it is a wraparound, all around a problem. If you're having mental health issues, you're probably going to have some physical health issues, and vice versa.
Huge advantage, like you just talked about, to have the communication. Communication's key, especially when you're trying to get someone healthy and get someone well. So now, y'all have counselors on staff?
We do. So our staff, which I have a great team, I'm very proud of my team. They're made up of either licensed professional counselors or licensed social workers, master's level. So I'm going to tell you, those are hard to find in Southeast Arkansas.
I understand.
And so that's been one of the biggest barriers as I came on with Mainline, but just in being in mental health for the past decades that I've been doing it, that's always a struggle, is trying to find providers, quality providers in the area. But we have several providers throughout Southeast Arkansas. We're actually expanding into Magnolia, so we've got lots of providers that are out there. Another thing that we've been doing to try to offset that is we've started our own, basically grow your own. So we've started an internship program.
Nice. Okay.
So that's been really successful.
And you make such a great point, Jamie, because there are people who think to get good mental health mental health help, that they got to go to the big city or something.
That's right.
You know, they got to leave town. They got to go somewhere. But no, the help's right here.
That's right.
Because when you get in a dark place, it's hard to even get out of the house sometimes, and you need something local. And to have something right here in our community, in Monticello, that can change people's lives by helping them get well, I think is just something that's very underrated. Maybe people don't understand how important it is. I know I understand it. You know, just our conversations and that I've had with you, very blessed to have this organization here in Monticello that people can access. Yeah. Speaking of, if somebody was wanting to call and make an appointment, how would they reach out? Is there a phone number? Or?
Yes, let me get my cheat sheet.
There we go. There we go.
But before I do that, I wanted to, something you mentioned made me think.
Okay.
The inability to get out of the house.
Okay.
That is such a good point, and we do also offer telehealth services as well. So they can, if they have a cell phone, a laptop, anything, we can send them a link and we can connect right there. They don't even have to get out of their home.
So like a hotline, you know, somebody calls and can talk to someone on the phone that can listen to them and help them work through their problems.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So if you want to call to schedule, the number here in Monticello would be 870-538-5414. My guru for scheduling in Monticello and surrounding areas is Caitlin Reed. She is she's our case manager coordinator. Mm-hmm. The case manager job is to do the scheduling and to coordinate the care.
Caitlin's another super fantastic person.
Great person. Her extension is 1518. I don't think she'll kill me for giving that out. But yeah, she's your girl, so she could definitely get you set up.
Of course, we're in an online age now. A lot of people don't own phones and never even talk on them. You know, like to get online. So
That's
is there a website or an online?
So our website, that one I actually do think I remember off the top of my head, is www.mainlinehealth.net. And you can do scheduling online with our medical providers. With behavioral health, our scheduling's a little more complicated, so you can request an appointment online, and if somebody doesn't get in touch with you within 2 business days, I would get in touch with Caitlin. So,
well, all this has been extremely informative, and if there's anyone out there who feels like you need to talk to somebody, think of Jaime Harvey here.
Yeah.
Think of Mainline Health. Give them a call. They're here to help you. You can't be your best you if you're not mentally healthy and mentally well. Let's all focus on that and remember that we have these opportunities right here in Monticello. Thank you for coming on, Jaime. I've really enjoyed the visit, and I know our viewers are going to enjoy it, and they're going to hopefully take advantage of it.
yes.
We'll be back. We're excited here at Monticello Minute Unscripted to have our sponsors, Monticello Chevrolet GMC, Arkansas Superior Federal Credit Union, and The Woods, a Nightingale community. We thank them for their support and for making this broadcast possible.